PM pledges to close loophole that let Gazans settle in the UK, by Becky Morton, political reporter at the BBC. Evening ladies and gents, how are you doing? As you can see, to present today's breaking news, I am outside Pzersky railway station in downtown Kiev to bring you this breaking news that no matter what corner of planet Earth we dig you up from, activists, lawyers and sparrow-boned BBC journalists, no matter what corner of the globe they dig you up from, you are, of course, Ukrainian. And with that in mind, you can move to the UK, especially all of these obviously Ukrainian gentlemen behind me, just, commuting to work. All of the Ukrainians in Somalia and famous Haitian cannibal warlord, Jimmy Barbecue. Right then, so I'm sure you've all seen the news earlier today that a family that is about as Ukrainian as Gandhi has just been allowed to settle in the UK because they somehow got given a large council house for their entire family on account of the fact they were apparently letting under a system that was originally conceived to benefit Ukrainian refugees, and Starmer has had to respond to it. Whether or not he's actually going to do anything about it remains to be seen. According to the charmless lying android, the government is working to close a loophole which allowed a Palestinian family the right to live in the UK after they originally applied through a scheme designed for Ukrainians. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch raised the case during Prime Minister's questions, saying it was completely wrong. In response, Sir Keir Starmer said he agreed, saying it should be Parliament that makes the rules on immigration. Yeah, the oily lawyer's now decided that it should be Parliament that makes the rules on immigration, but only because there was national outcry. And we all know he's disingenuous and he doesn't mean it. He wants to flood the UK with unvetted, hairy-arsed fighting-age men from all four corners of the globe, and he always has done, because he's a political ideologue. David Starkey educated us all about this many years ago. The family of 6, whose home in Gaza was destroyed by an airstrike, applied to join the father's brother in the UK using the Ukraine family scheme. The application was refused in May after the Home Office concluded the requirements of the scheme were not met. The family's initial appeal was dismissed by an immigration tribunal judge in September, but following a hearing in January, a further appeal was upheld by upper tribunal judges on the grounds of Article 8 of the European Convention of Human Rights. Ah, that old chestnut, which protects the right to a family life. The Criminals Charter pops up again, ladies and gentlemen. How many times have we talked about the Criminals Charter, the European Court of Human Rights? The ECHR actually gave asylum to a career sex offender, a man who'd made diddling kids and defenceless women a profession, right? And they let him stay in the UK on account of the fact he had a cat. That wasn't a fictional story. It became a meme, but it was true.
We all know the stories about the Human Rights Act. The violent drug dealer who cannot be sent home because his daughter, for whom he pays no maintenance, lives here. The robber who cannot be removed because he has a girlfriend. The illegal immigrant who cannot be deported because, and I am not making this up, because he had a pet cat. That is why I remain of the view that the Human Rights Act needs to go.
There you go. That was former Prime Minister Theresa May herself, laying it out in 2011. I remember that well. Theresa May said that and socked it to the European Union and said, when we leave the EU, we will smash you, we'll become a tax haven for all the big corporations, and we will crush the big unwieldy European Union. And then a few years later, probably with the US aid money and everything else, or Soros, or any one of the other globalist sociopaths paid her off, and she became just another open borders loser like everybody else. So this is what's happening. That's the facts. It's all true, and you've just heard it from the lips of the Prime Minister. But let's get back to the lies by the power-mad communist android currently running the show with an iron fist in the United Kingdom. Badenoch said the decision cannot be allowed to stand and asked the Prime Minister whether the government was planning to appeal. In response, Sir Keir Starmer said it should be Parliament that makes the rules on immigration. Badenoch also urged the PM to back her call to make it harder for people to get British citizenship and referring to the brother of the Palestinian family had applied to join, she said this case has arisen because a Palestinian came to the UK from Gaza in 2007. This is precisely why we need to break the conveyor belt to the UK, to acquiring indefinite leave to remain and then getting a passport and bringing all your family members over. Yeah, you don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to figure that one out, do you? This needs to end. Everybody with 2 brain cells to rub together knows this needs to end. What do these people bring to the table? What? We have took full-blown terrorist sympathisers, killers, jihadis, the lot. Abu Hamza and worse have all moved to the UK in the last 35 years. There's leaders of Hamas living in London. There are people promoting suicide bombing, the ruthless indoctrination of children, female genital mutilation, and performing unscheduled surgical procedures on the likes of Owen Jones in the middle of the street because a very, very, very old book of illiterate desert scribblings says so. I maintain that these people bring nothing to the United Kingdom. Nothing. If you aren't going to earn a 6-figure salary, we don't want you. Get out of my office. You're fired. Point your compass south, whatever comical term you want to use, or not comical term. Throw them out, lock the doors, eat the key. I don't care. I don't think the vast majority of the United Kingdom cares. And if they don't sort this out very, very quickly, the general public is going to become extremely unreasonable. Not quite as unreasonable as the people we keep importing, driving their surprise sex convoys through the middle of London while the police do nothing about it, but almost. Almost. Anyway, that's me for the day, ladies and gents. I have to get a move on. I need to get a flight all the way back to the United States after this charming evening in Kiev, surrounded by all these definitely Ukrainian people. Okay, let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Okay, toodle pip. Cheers.